As Chair of Peterborough Council for Voluntary Service, it is a real privilege to be here this evening at the kind invitation of PARCA to celebrate both International Women's Day and Eid together with all of you. I cannot think of a more fitting combination of celebrations. International Women's Day reminds us of strength, courage, and progress. And Eid reminds us of faith, generosity, compassion, and community. And tonight, here in this room, we see all those things brought together in the most powerful way, through people, through friendship, and through the spirit of Peterborough. And let me say also, any event that involves community, celebration, and a meal is always very well attended in Peterborough. We may not agree on everything in this city, but we are completely united when someone says there will be food. And let me say how proud we at PCVS are to work alongside PARCA. Partnership is a word that gets used a lot these days, sometimes too easily. But our partnership with PARCA is a genuine one. It is built on trust, shared purpose, and a belief that our city is stronger when everyone has a voice, everyone has dignity, and everyone has the opportunity to belong. PARCA has been a shining example of what community leadership looks like in practice, not just in words, but in action, day after day, year after year. And I want to pay special tribute to Moez and his team. Moez, you have the rare ability to combine determination with kindness and vision with humility. You lead in a way that brings people together rather than dividing them. And in today's world, that is not just valuable, it is essential. Your team at PARCA show the same commitment. They support people who are often facing the most difficult moments of their lives, arriving in a new country, learning a new language, building a new future, sometimes carrying memories that none of us can fully imagine. Yet what PARCA does is not simply to provide support. You provide hope, you provide belonging, and you provide the message that Peterborough is a city where people are welcomed, not judged, where people are valued, not feared, and where difference is something to celebrate, not something to hide. And that brings me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to something I feel very strongly about. Peterborough is the city it is today because of the contribution of immigrants. Generation after generation, people have come here from all over the world, bringing skills, energy, culture, faith, food, music, business. And above all of that, a determination to build a better life. If you walk through our city centre, visit our schools, our hospitals, our places of worship, our businesses, our charities, you see the story of Peterborough written in many languages and traditions. And that is not a weakness, that is our strength. Sometimes people talk about diversity as if it is a problem to be solved. In Peterborough, diversity is something to be proud of, and it's something that's helped this city grow, adapt, and succeed. It keeps the city alive, it keeps the city moving forward, and it keeps the rest of us learning new words for dishes we cannot pronounce, but we love to eat. And organisations like PARCA help make that possible because you turn diversity into community. And tonight we also celebrate International Women's Day. and it's absolutely right that we do so in a place like this. Because if there's one thing I've learned in many years of my own community work, it is this: that community organisations run on the strength of women. Women who organise, women who volunteer, women who care for families, women who hold communities together when times are hard, women who lead, often without recognition, often without thanks, but never without impact. And if I'm honest, most of the organisations I work with would collapse within about 3 days if the women stopped doing the work. So tonight's the chance to say clearly, thank you, and we see you. And here in our county and in our city, we're incredibly fortunate to have some remarkable exemplars of female leadership. We have our Lord Lieutenant and High Sheriff, who represent the Crown in this county with dignity, wisdom, and extraordinary commitment to community life. For the first time in almost 30 years, a truly inspiring woman, a Muslim woman, leads our city council, something that says so much about the city Peterborough has become. We have both the Bishop and the Vicar of Peter providing leadership, care and guidance to people of all backgrounds. At PARCA, you have your first female chair of the board. And of course, we have our own game-changing CEO at PCBS. These are all inspiring, strong, thoughtful women, and we're lucky to have them. And I sometimes find myself wondering, if the world had a few more women in charge, would we have quite so much conflict, quite so much division, and quite so much shouting? Personally, I'm not so sure we would. I suspect there might be a bit more listening, a bit more common sense, and possibly meetings that actually finish on time. So tonight is not just a celebration, it's also a thank you to the women who lead, the women who serve, the women who hold families and communities together. And of course, we celebrate Eid, a time of joy, of generosity, of forgiveness, and of coming together. And it reminds us that after reflection comes renewal, after sacrifice comes celebration, and after hardship comes hope, and after fasting comes very serious eating. Those are values that speak to all of us, whatever our background, whatever our faith, and whatever our story. Events like tonight matter more even than sometimes we realise, because community is not built in offices, it is not built in reports, it is built in rooms like this, where people sit together, play together, talk together, laugh together, and realise we have far more in common than we sometimes think. You cannot build community through speeches alone. You build it through moments like this, through shared food, through shared stories, and through shared humanity. And that is why the work of PARCA matters. That is why the partnership between PARCA and PCBS matters. And that is why every person in this room matters. Peterborough is not perfect. No city is. But it is a place where people care, where people help each other, and where organisations like PARCA make sure that nobody feels they are on their own. And when I look around tonight, I see exactly what makes this city special. People from different backgrounds, different faiths, different stories, all in the same room, all sharing the same celebration, and all proving that community is not about where you come from, it's about where you stand together. People who serve, people who believe that kindness is stronger than fear, that unity is stronger than division, and that hope is stronger than doubt. So, let me finish, you'll be pleased to know, by saying this. On International Women's Day, are you okay?
Yeah,
You're doing a great job.
I can.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
So on International Women's Day, we celebrate strength. At Eid, we celebrate generosity. Through PARCA, we celebrate community. And in Peterborough, we celebrate the simple but powerful truth that when we stand together, we all stand taller. Thank you for the invitation, thank you for your friendship, and thank you for everything you do for our city. Thank you.